It's your boy 𝐿𝐴𝐾, holla at your boy, Us TV, live and direct, making it connect. You already know what it is. Looking fresh, looking clean. Every day is a movie scene. You already know what it is. Yeah. So many different topics today, man. So many different topics. As I disconnect to connect, or detach, you know, to get the work done and put time and effort into the things that I need to put time and effort in. Feel me? So we're going into the next phase of clarity and what it means to be in a state of clarity and being clear of what one's purpose, or what I define my purpose as, or what I'm trying to get done. And yeah, I had to take a moment right there just to get in tune with the sounds of nature and to blend in with the environment. So many topics about relationships and why relationships they don't really work out, and why there's a battle of a power struggle in a relationship, and why tension occurs in a relationship, right? How do I look? Sexy? Okay, thank you. There's a rebuilding of oneself, and sometimes that rebuilding stage of what oneself is supposed to do requires you to be alone, right? Because society has placed a blueprint template structure that requires each partner to bring something to this table that I've yet to see the table. That we always talk about. What are you bringing to the table? Like, what table? Some people don't even eat at a table. They don't. There is no table, right? So what are we bringing to the table? And there's an illusion of what is on that table, because there is no table. What are you bringing to the tablet that you are a representative of, right? So the mind and the body is the temple, right? And it's your kingdom, because the kingdom is within, right, first. So is my kingdom refined so that when I bring forth my energy, it can be accepted or used in a way that refines or builds the table? Do you want to be in the building stages of the table, or you want the table already made? And if my table is already made, what purpose do you serve at my table if the table is already made? What decorations are you adding to that table if the table exists, if the table is already made? And why is the conversation of I can't rock with you because you don't make a certain amount of money right? So that defines your character as a human being as a whole. Don't make sense to me. Never have, never will. I've met more people and got more wisdom from people who had less within finances than the people that did. More players who didn't make it to the league, their offsprings became better than them because they were able to teach them from the mistakes, right? So sometimes you're doing a disservice when you're talking to somebody saying, yo, I can't rock with you because you don't make a certain amount of money. Because on the flip side of that is like, you're going to a job, you're going to an audition, you're going to be a model. And you want to model, and you think you got this look about yourself, right? And then you meet a professional photographer, and the photographer says, you look good, but you still need qualifications to meet the criteria of what being a model is. So I can't rock with you. So depending on how tough skinned you are and what your determination is and what your expectation and what you want your achievements to be, see that? You'll then be broken down mentally, right? To see what your value is, or if you value yourself in any kind of manner. Because if someone is telling you that you're not worthy based off of a paycheck, that's a piece of paper that someone puts their signature on with a dollar amount of what hourly you worked, based upon the wages that they can provide, based upon the time and services that they provide, and the what do you want to call it? The accumulation of funds that they provide to a next person, and you telling someone saying, okay, I don't value you because you made a dollar amount on a piece of paper that someone provided you based upon the amount of money they had that provided you with a service. So I can't really respect you because you don't got a certain amount of O's next to your name, right? And that's fine based off of the lifestyle and necessities that you want to live, based off what's required and what's agreed upon, right? But then there's a flip side to that, right? A lot of people, and I'm not just gonna say men or women, because it goes on both ends. A lot of people, when they get to a certain level, they don't really know who they are as a whole. And they don't really know what they want out of life. And a lot of people just want those things and those qualifications just to brag about it, which is cool. And that has to be understandable. Like, okay, I'm with a person that wants to be braggadocious, right? Or I'm with a person that wants to be a minimal. Or I'm with a person that requires these certain things. So, am I willing to be a part of that process of the accumulation of those things? And does it define me? Right? Does it define me? Am I gonna settle for the steak dinner? Or do I thug it out to get the man with the farm? Do I break a man down knowing that I'm broken in the state of my body, mentally, stuff like that? Do I feel better about that? That I have to tell a man like, yo, I don't respect you because you don't pay bills? Or do you respect the man that put himself in position to not pay bills ever again because he owns everything? So there's a disconnect, right? Because there's a structure and there's a template that was put place for relationships to exist. So one person is saying, yo, I don't respect you because you're not in a position to spend money consistently. But then on the flip side, you become the enemy when you say you're not even in a position to own anything. You're not a boss of anything. You have nothing that represents your brand. You have nothing that represents you as an owner. You're in a position of just working for someone else who makes you feel like you're higher than based off of the currency that you would expect, and you stand on that currency that you think makes you who you are, but it really don't make you who you are because you don't own nothing. And am I less than of someone because I'm in the process of owning the concept and the templates and stuff like that? Am I not that guy? Am I not that person? And does it define who I am? And does it make or break a relationship, right? So that was just the small talk of the situation. Now we're gonna get like deep into it, right? What concepts are you creating? Did you go to the gym? Did you bring anything innovative to the table? Right? Are you looking at your day as a positive day? Right? Are you happy with your body? Right? If I can't pay for your hair, nails, and your bills, am I still not the owner of my company? Did that make you or break you? how does it feel to walk away from me knowing that I came back even stronger and better? And the negativity didn't evolve me. It was the mindset of always thinking that I was a champion, and I always knew that I was a champion. And the losses or whatever people, I have no clue about who lost what or what loss or what. It didn't define the purpose. So when you're talking about a relationship now, the reason why these relationships are failing is because, well, we're not gonna say failing. People part ways. It's a battle of energy, and everybody wants to be dominant in a certain aspect, or people want you to dominate in areas that it's not really an asset. Like, you want me to dominate a space, but we don't want to dominate the skills and the assets that we desire to be like or we admire from other people. So I'm gonna be fat, lazy, and bossy, and that defines my character. Or I could find innovative ways to, because this is a duality of everything, right? Because there's no right or wrong. It's just how you look at things and what you expect from your partner. I could sit at home, take $200 and flip it to a multi-billion-dollar company based off the resources and assets that I have and the knowledge that I acquired by walking this process. Or I could go work for freaking a fast food company and come home with a steady paycheck and pay the bills that are supposed to be paid, and then I'd be broke. But as long as we maintaining, everything's good. So there won't be no issues in the relationship because we've maintained a relationship of mediocrity, and we're paying the bills of the billionaires that own those companies. So we consistently pay them and make them richer while we live a mediocrity lifestyle, and we're content. And then we get old and our kids get passed down those things, and people stop caring about us, and we drive mediocre cars and live in mediocre houses and stuff like that, and eat mediocre food, and we get criticized because we want to live outside the box. And when white people do it, or when the Asians do it, or the Africans, like stuff like overseas Africans do it, like it's obtainable. But when you come from the inner cities of the ghetto and places like that, or the hood, or you come from certain cities and garrisons and stuff like that, it's not cool for you to become those moguls or those billion-dollar dudes, it's cool for you to just stay in pocket and move like a average human being. And that's the death of relationships. I didn't come here to be mediocrity. I didn't come here to be average. I didn't come here to be regular. I didn't come here to be working no 9 to 5. The market is open from 9 to 5. So if I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm supposed to be trading from 9 to 5, how do I trade? And I'm not even gonna get deep in that. Just think about that equation, right? How do I trade, right? If that's the case, right? So that's where the tension comes from, right? The tension comes from masculinity and femininity, and who grew up with one parent, who grew up with 2 parents, who's overly masculine, who's overly feminine, who's overly all of these different things, and to know the balance of both, right? Who's hard, who's soft, the soft life. Yo, who own a company? Who's the source to that company? How can I use those relationships to put me in position to own my companies? How can I extend my companies? How can I expand my resources or my skill sets to put me in position to become an owner of those companies? I'm not going up to an owner or a boss and be like, yo, he's soft or he hard. Nah, I'm saying, sir, ma'am, miss, homie, bro, sis. Yo, what do you do? Oh, word? I'm not trying to get in your business, but ballpark, how much you make doing this type of job? What services do you provide? Can I add that to my company? Or can I provide a service to your company to leverage your company so I could become an asset, which makes me an asset, and then I could take my businesses and spread it elsewhere or build foundations that keep me elevated, right? I don't really care about the gossipness of why women don't think that certain men don't qualify based off of their position in status. Like, I've seen people with a certain amount of bread, that's a lot, hundreds of thousands and millions, they don't know what to do with it. I've seen people like, yo, I got 400, 500, I could flip this. So if I'm doing that on a small scale and I get the big bag, and I turn the big bag into a bigger bag into a bigger bag, and I'm making other people bags and bags and bags, I valued myself in the process. I didn't care about what people thought about me and what they had to say about what I couldn't do, because it's weird to me that every time they said I couldn't do something, I did it. So what is the argument about? What is the argument about? The argument is about power struggle. There's a power struggle between men and women because women and men, the roles have changed. And they lied to us and said that the roles have changed, but it really didn't. They just made certain qualifications for certain type of people, and it's projected, and it automatically feeds into your brain and says, okay, yo, women got more rights than you. Men don't got no rights. Or here's the laws that benefit women, and here's the laws that benefit men, right? Like, why do I gotta go to court or be in a system where I'm being scrutinized in front of a billion other men, right? And put in position for my case or something like that. No matter what like position I'm in, my case is being publicly advertised to a bunch of people, and the court system is beneficiary to women, right? And the men is saying, and the men is being broken down. So if I'm put in a position to be fined, and you're telling me that I'm as of no service to my society, how can I be as of service to society if you're putting me in a position of debt and you're not putting me in a position of leverage? What job system is being created? What leverage system is being created? What ownership system is being created? There is none. What education system is being created? Therefore, if there's no education system, there's no leverage system, there's no job system, there's no relationship between a man and a woman, because they fighting over who should be working, who should be at home, who should be cooking. Do you even know how to cook, right? Do you know how to clean? Do you know how to do the housekeeping necessities? Do you understand the roles of what you want to play? Are you good at accounting? Are you good at bookkeeping? Are you good at motivating? Are you good at, and this goes for both ways. I'm not just talking about men or women. Are y'all good at agreeing at certain stuff? Are y'all open to be like, yo, I don't want to be monogamous. You feel me? I just want to be. You feel me? I just want to be myself. I just want to be, or I do want to be monogamous. I want to be single. I want to have an open relationship. Are you openly communicating these things, right? Can you communicate those things without, one, feeling some type of way, agreeing to it, and then being like, well, now I feel like this, so I can't be, nah, like, and if you do feel like that, express it in a way where it's not demanding, like, I need you to be like this, or I need you to be married, or I need you to do this. Like, I don't need to do nothing, right? It's about supply and demand. What is the demands? What are the supplies, right? And the demands in a state of scarcity, not demanding, like, I demand you to do that. Like, okay, yo, there's no light, let me provide a way to make electricity. There's no food, let me go find a way to make food. There's no abundance, let me go find a way to make abundance. Let me go, I'm spending too much on clothes, or let me go make my own. Let me go, there's a cloud in the area about these topics. Let me come on camera and say, okay, here's my perspective of what it is. So it really is not no issue. It's just a power struggle based off of lack of teaching and education, because one person grew up without a father, one person grew up without a mother, one person grew up with their mother, one person grew up in a mother and father household, so they have certain expectations of certain things. And can you find the middle ground of, like, learning each other's lifestyles and what it takes to be a part of these circumstances? And can you communicate in a way that's not threatening, so that when the tension boils up, it doesn't become overly aggressive? Feel me? In certain aspects. And do you know how to be passive? Do you know how to be aggressive? And do you understand the concept of what it is to be around each other, and when it's like to not be around each other? Because you can't fulfill relationships until you fulfill the relationship with yourself, with that higher power of what you call God, or what you call the existence of who you are as a human being. Like, you can't fulfill it no matter what book they give you. Like, the book is the guide. All those books are guides, right? And they're guidance in the state of finding the way to channel your energy. And can you withstand the process of becoming that individual? You know what I'm saying? Become Before Becoming. Book out now. Link in bio. Can you become that person? Can you accept the judgment? Look at God, right? Or Jesus, or we're gonna use that symbolic figure, right? The most loved, but he was the most hated. They threw rocks at him, put him on a cross. So you praise the person that was most hated. And still, that's the person to be like. So if that's the person to be liked, but he was the most hated, how can you not go through a process? Or are you prepared, or are you willing to go through that process to be the most hated and to be the most loved? Someday they're gonna love you, someday they're gonna hate you. You feel me? The only thing where things get crazy is because it's the miscommunication and the misrepresentation of what is being projected, right? So it's like, I don't have to go cut corners in certain situations to get my point across, or I'm gonna find ways to get work done in ways that minimizes my labor so that I can have more time to express whatever needs to be expressed. Espresso coffee, express my feelings, express train, express clothing, express my thoughts to make my own clothing brand, express my feelings to show how I feel in certain situations, so that that person can be expressive in showing me how they feel, so that we can express the communication over some espresso. And we learn different expressions based off a criteria or curriculum that needs to be expressed in the community of what these expressions need to be. And when do certain situations become expired? So like, there are different phases, but the tug and pull of you belong and I belong and I'm here and I need to be here and you don't need to do this and you don't need to do that has to be expressed so that one knows boundaries and limitations, and you remain solid on that without reneging or changing. And when one does change that stuff, can we live and say like, yo, okay, this time or this situation has evolved into the next phase, right? We're gonna say evolved into another phase, right? And do you know when to not engage and when to engage? You feel me? So the power struggle is provokeness of like, certain things get physical because one is provoked, and then the one that's provoked gets looked at as a suspect, or situations turn crazy because of lack of communication or trauma or paranoia, all these different aspects of what society is, and learning self-control and stuff like that. So those things are not implemented ever in the criterias and curriculums that we're learning. It's projected to be a certain way in society that's entertaining, and the entertaining part of the society is a trick to get you in trouble, or to put you in a situation that allows you to lose your freedom based off of certain baitable events and stuff like that. And these things, even Jesus went through, right? Even Jesus went through these things, and these historical figures that we praise and we look up to, there comes a moment where we go through these trials and these tribulation periods that it's either gonna make you, or it's gonna break you, or it's gonna break you and make you. You feel me? So, and you gotta be willing to go through those things, and you gotta be willing to go through those things with the individuals that you chose to be a part of. And when you can't go through those things with those individuals, let it be known, so that when you're with those individuals and you say, okay, I can't go through those things with you, then it's clear that we don't want to go through those processes, right? And don't be mad when you say, okay, yo, I don't want to be with you, or I don't want to be a part of your system, or I want to be a part of your business, and then later on that person ascends into greatness or wealth and richness and stuff like that. Don't be mad, you know what I'm saying? Be proud, be happy. Be like, yo, okay, I see what you're doing, good for you. Boom, keep it like that. You feel me? And then when the other person is doing and living their life and loving their life and living it how they want to, let them live. Let them live. But when you start to critique and try to create a power struggle of what you think or why I shouldn't be at the position I am, it don't work like that. Because guess what happened? I run through walls and I break through barriers and I break through limitations and I break through anything that they thought was a doubt or I defy all odds, or whatever they said couldn't be done, or whoever they said was the best at whatever they said it was the best at. One, I acknowledge those that are the best, but I break barriers, I change quotas, I crack systems and codes and stuff like that. I do all of that type of stuff. You feel me? I challenge myself to be higher every single day, and there's gonna be certain illusions of obstacles that are being placed in there, and we break through those too, because they really don't exist. You know, we move them mentally. You feel me? Move them mentally. So, and physically in existence, we embody that role of, you know, the Christ consciousness or the Christ or Jesus and stuff like that. If that's the blueprint or the template, like, okay, he went through all those different every character went through those tribulations and trials, right? And you had to watch other people talk about you, critique you, judge you, compete with you, only to be revered as that guy or that person. So if I follow those blueprints and I follow those concepts, plus the experience that I have with myself, I'm destined to be great, and I'm destined to like talk about more elevation and put myself in position to be in wealth and success, and not get caught up into what people are saying that I'm not, or whatever they saying that I am, because it doesn't matter. Because the more that they say that I'm not or I am and stuff like that, is the more that I'll be like, oh wow, you just came up with a new company, a new brand, a new car, a new this, a new that, a new this, a new life, a new wave, a new, you know what I'm saying? A new look, like a new, like old shirt, but I'm still looking new. Like, what do you mean? And it's not, it ain't about me, you know what I'm saying? It's loving and looking at people for seeing, like, how can I see the beauty in the hustle and the struggle, and boom, if you're doing your hustle over there, boom, oh, I peep your hustle, and if we competing, I could compete with you without even hating on you. You feel me? I could have a friendly spar with you. I could still gonna start sharpen steel. So if you come out, that's the dope thing about podcasting or like the NBA right now, because you get to see other basketball players be like, yo, I don't really have beef with this person, but when we competed, I like the way you did this, or I like the way you did that, I like the way you did that. Musicians, same thing. Yo, I like the way that you did this, I like the way you did that. But then when we in a state of battling or competing, yo, gonna get it in. Boom, we get it in, da-da-da-da-da, keep it moving. That's it. Same thing with relationships. Yo, I like the way you do this. I don't like the way you do this. Okay, yeah, I could live with that. Okay, I could live with this. I could live with that. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's cool. That's not cool. Okay, we agree to disagree. We agree to that. Can we be together? Can you live by these terms? Can I live by these terms? Can we not live by these terms? Can we not live by these terms? All right, cool. Keep it moving. Okay, boom. Let's build. Da 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 da. But all that, you ain't da 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 da, and then it turns to, nah, you ain't this, and then you ain't that, whatever. Because the relationship that I have with myself is amazing, right? It's amazing, right? And he who has the gold, right? So I started, has the power or whatever, So, I'm gonna be defined to be God-like, because ye are God. Like, how are you gonna put all these stuffs into context and text and stuff like this, and then tell us that we can't talk like this, and then it's wrong to not believe that ye are gods, and not to say that I'm God-like and you're not the God. Like, no, you put it in a book. That was the curriculum. We followed the curriculum, and then when we follow in the curriculum, you're telling us that the curriculum ain't the curriculum. No. Like, yeah, I feel like that. I carry myself like that. I'm always gonna be like that. And in relations with women, I'm always gonna carry myself like that. And still, I'm gonna learn the pamperness of what it takes to make my woman feel the way she's supposed to feel, and go through the process of that. And if you're not willing to go through the process, see it, right? And if you are, holla at your boy. You already know what it is. You feel me? Are we gonna be expressive, transparent, and be like, yo, this is what it is, and this is how it's gonna be, and we're gonna agree upon that? Then we could do that. You feel me? And if we can't, we can't. You feel me? But it doesn't stop the progression of one's individual progression, because individually I already have a relationship with myself that's amazing, that's beautiful, because I know the goods and the bads about what's going on, right? And I have to filter those things and still refine and define myself of who I am, always on a level, so that I could be productive and I could be an asset to all situations that I provide myself with. And then I could learn and stay away from the liabilities, or not put myself in a situation that's gonna make me a liability, right? So, in a nutshell, like, being in the relationship aspect of the power struggle is because the expectations of what society wants you to be like, look like, eat like, see like, feel like, da 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 da. But do you know what you like? And do you know what defines you? So once you figure out what defines you, there won't be no power struggle, because the power that you're looking for as a source from other people, you have within yourself. And then once you have that within yourself, one person's projection of who you think you are, what you're not, doesn't define who you are, because you get to be able to live in your truth no matter what. And we're going to end it like that. It's your boy, 𝐿𝐴𝐾. Late bloomers, holla at your boy. Late bloomer K. Kamar. Jazz America. Mr. Easy Does It. Holla at your boy. Music online. Products online. Got new sneakers online. Everyday necessities. Herbs, products. Just stay in tune with the expansion of who I am and what I'm becoming, and the building of who I am, right? And yeah, you know, he's got sound effects. I'll let your boy. You already know what it is. Turn up. I guess that's what that meant right there. I'll let your boy, Jazz America. You already know what it is.